Hello, welcome to another video in our series, Who is Jesus? Thank you for joining me today to look into his life by looking into the Bible, which tells us all about the life of Jesus. We're going to continue in Matthew chapter 17 and finishing that off. In the last video, we looked at a supernatural experience that three of Jesus' disciples witnessed, and now they're returning to the other 9 disciples who are involved in a situation where a boy is demon-possessed. Let's read in Matthew 17, verses 14 to 21. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, kneeling down to him and saying, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he is lunatic and sore vexed. For oft times he falleth into the fire, and oft into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Jesus answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, Why could we not cast him out? And Jesus said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove thence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit, this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. So, if we remember that Jesus expects faith in people, and when people believe him and his words and trust his authority in a situation, miracles happen. His disciples were being trained to carry on his ministry because he knew his time on earth was about finished. So this father brought his son to the disciples even though Jesus wasn't there at the time. I think that shows that this father had faith. Now, why then did Jesus say that his disciples, who had been involved in so many other miracles together with him, had unbelief? I think that Jesus is showing here that he is investing in them. And he has given them solid promises to stand on so that when he is no longer on earth, they can continue with what he commissions them to do. And if we look at what he said, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. You know, it's almost like he's saying, well, hypothetically or theoretically speaking, if your faith is as small as a mustard seed, which is teeny tiny, you still have enough faith to say to this mountain, move over here, and the mountain will have to obey your word. And I don't think that he was saying that the disciples had such a teeny tiny amount of faith. He was kind of probably showing them, you know what, if it were so that you only had this much, but it isn't so. You have the faith that I gave you, and that's huge compared to a mustard seed. So he is really continuing his task of preparing them to be able to do the same works that he did after he is gone. He's continually reminding them and preparing them for what is going to happen. And let's continue then with verses 22 and 23. And while they abode in Galilee, Jesus said unto them, The Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of men, and they shall kill him, and the third day he shall be raised again. And they were exceeding sorry. So I see so much wisdom and foresight and compassion on the part of Jesus to be telling his disciples what's going to happen before it happens so that they are prepared for it. Now, let's see the last miracle of this chapter. It was a practical miracle just for Peter. Verses 24 through 27. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received tribute money came to Peter and said, Doth not your master pay tribute? He saith, Yes. And when he was come into the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, What thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take custom or tribute? Of their own children, or of strangers? Peter saith unto him, Of strangers. Jesus saith unto him, Then are the children free. Notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, go thou to the sea and cast an hook, and take up the fish that first cometh up. And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of money. That take and give unto them for me and thee. You know, Jesus is involved in all aspects of our lives. In this case, I even see that he's involved in paying taxes and used a miracle to provide that for the payment that he and Peter owed, even though he has just said to Peter that they're actually free from this. In God's kingdom, they are not required to pay any taxes, but in this kingdom where they presently live, that is a requirement, and he is prepared to abide by that, and he did it in a very miraculous way. So, Jesus teaching, doing miracles, making sure that his disciples know what the kingdom of God is really like so that they can pass it on to others after he's gone. Thank you for joining me again, and God bless you.